We are back with another analysis. What we're looking at today is a review of the International Summit that we did. That's the cover board for this graphic. First annual International Summit on Self-Determination, live September 28th. Multiple movements, part of this. We're going to go to Jason. Here were the groups that were there. How well did this go?
I think it went really well. Not to toot my own horns too much, because you and I both put a lot of work into this. But yeah, it, I think, went rather well. We had some fair representation of other independence movements, both in North America and abroad. Nowhere near as many as I would have liked. I personally would have loved to have seen every single recipient of our invitation accept and show up and make their claim to the world, state their grievances, and claim their right, inalienable, fundamental human right to self-determination. But hey, we're already working on the second annual Global Summit on Self-Determination. So hopefully the message will get out there a little further and people will respond this time. We did have good response, though. Alberta, Catalonia, unfortunately.
Make it. We were in talks with them, though. Cape.
Yeah, Cape. Love the folks from Cape. Got a long history with them, from them actually approaching us first.
That's right.
Years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then, you know, just being supportive and helpful, right? A lot of people are like, well, why would I want to join the CalExit movement if I'm in Florida or Texas? And I have to keep pointing out, no, we're supportive of each other. You don't have to join CalExit. You don't have to be a Californian. We support your right to self-determination, and all we're asking is for you to agree that we also have that right, that we can all support or be supportive of each other's fundamental human right of self-determination, which the recipients here, or the attendees, my apologies, did very clearly do all that.
They did. They really did. They really came through. And everybody had a good attitude. Everybody was prepared to give their speech when we told them, you'll have 10 minutes to present your argument uninterrupted on why you think your movement should be free. Everybody came prepared to do that. Some people spoke better than others, of course, but that's all right.
Everyone speaks differently.
Everyone speaks differently. By the way, two people, one had undergone brain surgery and the other one just had his wife die. I'm not going to name names, but...
And was hooked up to the dialysis machine
at
that time that he was giving the speech. I mean, talk about hardcore activists.
Right. These are dead. Somebody goes, are they doing what? Yeah. Hardcore dedicated activists showed up. Everybody showed up at that event except for Junts per Catalunya. We'd been talking to them. We weren't able to finish the negotiation for that, but we did get everybody there. I only bring up this map to show that we were on two continents, South Africa and the North American continent, and we were on 4 nations, Canada, America, Mexico, and South Africa. If we had gotten Catalonia, that would have been 5 nations and 3 continents, but we were pretty pleased with 2 continents and 4 nations that was represented by these groups here. I generally thought everybody liked it. I noticed when we said we weren't even sure we were going to announce there was a second summit. We wanted to see how this did. We announced it towards the end of this summit, and I saw everybody's heads nodding up and down like, yes, I will be there at the second one. I like this one. I will definitely go. When we got that reaction live from the people participating, I think you and I were both like, well, we have to launch the second one now. Everybody literally just, you can watch it in the video. Everybody literally just goes, yeah, I'm definitely there. So we're starting the second summit off with everybody who's already committed to the first one.
Yeah. So So this right here is the starting point of what we're going to be building on for our attendees for number 2, which is it safe to say we've posted when that's going to?
We're looking at February.
So about 4 months from now, folks, if you are part of an independence movement anywhere in the world, and that movement is dedicated to legal, peaceful means of self-determination, independence, secession, whatever you want to call it, right? As long as it's legal and peaceful, contact Marcus or myself. Contact us. You can find us on calexitnow.org. You can follow us on Twitter, CalExit LLC. You can follow us on Facebook, CalExit LLC. You can email Marcus, marcus.ruiz.evans@gmail.com. You can email myself at CEO Jason Wright, WRIGHT, at calexitllc.com. Please send us your contact info. Let us know what movement you're from, who you are, and that you wish to attend. We will get you your invite, your attendance link, all of it. Sorry.
Okay.
It was the CEO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. So that's how you can contact me.
CalExit LLC. That's you can find us at x.com, formerly Twitter. Some people still call it Twitter. There's there.
It's all good.
There is Jason's email, CEO Jason Wright at CalExit LLC. You can also find us at CalExit LLC. And finally, please check us out at our website, which is calexitnow.org. You can find us there. You can contact the CEO, the boss of the organization there, Jason. Or you can participate in daily discussions. Most of our daily discussions happen at X, although not exclusively, and you can check it out there. So website, email, Twitter, Second Summit basically already has all these groups committed. It went exceptionally well. Everybody did very good presentations. Everybody was blown away by the professionalism. Texas Nationalist Movement did a really good presentation. People were excited by that. Cape South Africa really, I think, was the star of the show. I mean, they came prepared and super excited, but everybody did great, and we really appreciate it. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm already looking forward to our second summit, and again, I thought it went really well. I thought that the free form discussion.
Oh yeah, that was hot.
We had originally created some discussion panels and had some very specific theme and topic that we were set to discuss, and then we decided, both Marcus and myself, let's just let the conversation flow. Let's let it be natural, organic, take whatever form it needs to. And I'm really glad we did, because we ended up with some really highbrow conversation. A lot of us were saying pretty much the same thing, subjugation,
right,
wanting freedom from tyranny and subjugation,
right, right,
how there is potential for each of these entities and our peoples to prosper and at the very least, do much better than what we have now.
Yes.
And
yeah,
like we all have kind of a it's funny because Texit and Calexit and Flexit, right? Like Florida's wants and needs are different from Texas's wants and needs, which are different from Hawaii's, which are different from California's, which are different from Cape's.
Yeah.
But we all come up with the same points without saying, oh, and what you should say is this. No, it's, hey, state your grievances. Well, our grievances are we are subjugated economically, culturally, this, that, the other, right? We want freedom from this oppression. We all come to these same kind of a point, and it I think is very telling, kind of the human spirit, right? We all really truly do desire to be able to at least feel that we have at least some control over our lives and whatnot.
Right.
And the less we feel that we do, the more likely we are to come up with these same talking points.
Yes, absolutely.
If I'm not culturally free, I'm going to feel culturally oppressed.
It was exciting to see people from Baja talking to people from South Africa, talking to people from Hawaii, and all going, well, we're wildly different, but we all have, our movements got started for this similar reason, loss of resources, being a donor state, never signed on to the contract to join, et cetera, things like that. And I couldn't
keep up. Another amazing point that kept getting brought up. Yes, thank you.
I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
They took over the conversation. The people, Jason and I did moderation, and then towards the end, the last half hour, they just took over the conversation, like asked maybe 50 minutes, and they were having conversation. Oh, so that happens to you too? Well, that happens to me. Oh, that happens to you? Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible to see the organic brainstorm.
Yeah, brainstorm, think tank. I mean,
wow.
Ultimately, the post statements discussion was quite intellectually stimulating, to say the least. And I do think that we should go ahead and do some of these finite. I think that what this freeform discussion taught us is that, if we have it even more specific and pinpointed, we can get there on these topics.
Absolutely.
Especially together with all of these great minds coming together, we can ultimately conquer these problems, at least, intellectually conquer them together.
I want to get something here.
Oh.
You didn't make me do this. I did this of my own. So just to be clear, the summit was his idea. We had worked with different groups in across the world in Calexit, and we had done that, I don't know, a while back. But the idea of let's take our contacts that we've developed over years and try to bring it together into one thing, sort of like a quasi-UN thing, and then we could have people talk to help themselves grow better. That was Jason's idea. And I have to say, we can't go into details, but there were people who saw that and really, really liked it and wanted to take it on as their idea. So congratulations. It was your idea, and it was a brilliant idea, and it worked brilliantly.
Thank you.
Brilliantly. So.
Well, and, I appreciate the credit. Look, I'm going like, come on, man. You're making me blush.
I invented Cholula on tacos. I think that's also a big invention.
I appreciate the credit, but I do want to point out for our viewers and for everyone around the world, this was not a sole endeavor.
Oh, no.
I had a lot of the idea, sure. Yeah. But this man right here is a lot of the reason why it actually happened.
As long as I don't have to do all the thinking.
These ideas come to life.
I told you when he took over as boss, I liked it. I was tired of having to make all the decisions. anything breaks, everything goes, what do you, and then if he said, oh, well, that was your decision. And you were just like, I'll start making, and you were competent. And I was like, great. I don't want to be involved in all those decisions. You're doing a lot of it. And I think in some of them, you're doing a better job. So I love the arrangement. And this was really your idea. And it worked out well, worked out very well. You looked at things we had implemented before. You looked at the history. You looked at the ability of things we were able to pull off before. And you said, I think we could do this. And you were right. You were very right.
Well, and our next one's going to be even bigger.
That's right. It's going to be even bigger.
4 months, folks.
So
4 months.
There you go. Basically, all these groups have committed. We're looking at February 2025. And that's the big deal. I want to leave you all with one last point, though. If you look at the secession movements that were part of our group, Alberta, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, New Hampshire, Vermont, California, they're all on the periphery of America. So's Alaska, so's Hawaii. If you look at the secession movement in Mexico, it's Baja. That is on the extreme periphery of Mexico. If you look at the secession movement of Cape, that is at the extreme periphery of South Africa. If you look at the secession movement of Scotland, of Catalonia, of, I think this is Sikh, and then that is the area in Nigeria is Biafra, and next to it is English-speaking Cameroon. Every single example. Oh, and in the far bottom right, you have New Caledonia, and then directly north of that far bottom right is Bougainville. All of these examples are at the extreme edge of the countries they're part of. Cantonia, right, in Hong Kong. Do you think that's arbitrary? That when we look at the secession movements, especially here in America, but then also you extrapolate the pattern to the world side, is that just a random chance coincidence that the secession movements that seem to gain traction and have real support are always at the edge of society geographically?
Well, I don't think it's random happenstance. Look at Sicilians. They are technically a part of Italy.
Right.
My Siciliano fratello.
Yeah.
My Sicilian brother. He identifies as Sicilian, but also as Italian because Sicily is part of it. Much like us being Californian, if someone's like, "Are you an American?" Well, I mean, technically, yes, I am a citizen of the United States of America still. But I'm also a Californian. You ask a Sicilian, yeah, they're Italian, but they're Siciliano.
Well said. You get okay. I get what you're doing there. Okay.
So Sicily being not connected to the boot. You've got what was the other example that I was thinking? Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has an independence movement starting up now, and Sri Lanka is off of India.
Right.
Who's controlling it? India, right?
Yeah. It's that little island there at the bottom of India in that map.
Yeah.
Outside of India. So absolutely.
So outlying, usually, further away, outlying, away from the central governing body, seems to usually end up, and this is where, say what you will about Thomas Jefferson, but he, I think, was very correct on it, the very least on this, was that too far away from the central governing body, it's not going to be effective.
Yep. You're talking about Jefferson said California should never be part of America.
And not just California, but the entirety of the Pacific Northwest. The whole of the western part of what we now know as North America should not have ever been a part, should not have been forced to be a part, because that is called subjugation and that is antithetical to America. But also that it can't adequately represent these people. They are so different. And even at that point, before California, right? I mean, Jefferson was alive, which tells you
that
California
far back
was not
that
being, annexed
yeah,
and fought
yeah.
over.
Yeah. He called it the Republic of Pacifica. You can type in Thomas Jefferson. I think he said it in letters to a friend somewhere around the early 1800s. But he specifically said California, and as you point out correctly, the entire West Coast should never, never be part of America. And this is one of the guys they say was the visionary of America. Well, if he's so brilliant, maybe we should listen to him when he talked about California.
And very importantly, why should it never, ever, ever be a part of America? Not because we don't want it, but because it's not fair to these people. We have certain values, and we would be breaking them wholly and completely if we do this. That's what Jefferson was pointing out. And now look at the map of the United States of America, and you tell me if this is in line with the founding fathers.
That's brilliant.
Viva todos Californios.
Viva todos Californios. Thank you all. We will leave it there. And we'll leave it there. We'll talk to you soon with more analysis. And thanks for being here.
Yeah, hey.